Okay, so I had to check and see where this stream was going because it's not going to the channel that it's supposed to. Fortunately, I'm recording it so I can re-upload it to the right channel. Um I've been having some trouble with my systems over here. I haven't used them in so long that I can't remember what my login is. I had to restart that on Streamlabs, so stuff is just kind of mixed up, kind of crazy. But I'll re-upload this to the right channel once I'm done. Um, this case I wanted to cover, but I was sick as a dog when it was happening. Fortunately, there's a happy ending, and there's also a twist, and the twist is why I'm gonna cover this story now, even though it's partially over, but it's not really. It's an ongoing thing. Um, Nora and Zola were kidnapped by their babysitter. So I'm going to do a couple of background videos. I'm going to do a couple of info videos, and then we're going to talk about it. All right. So here we go.
More breaking news. We do have an Amber Alert for two young children police believe were kidnapped by their babysitter. We first told you about the search for the sisters on Channel 2 Action News this morning. And 4-year-old Zola Cooper and her 11-month-old sister Nora have not been seen since Saturday night. And Channel 2's Michael Seiden is live right now in Northwest Atlanta. And Michael, you spoke with the girl's mother who says she trusted the babysitter.
Yeah, Fred, I know you're a parent. I'm a parent. This is just awful. In fact, minutes ago, we were here talking to that mother, as you can imagine, just so emotional. She says she first met the suspect through a Facebook group for expectant mothers, says that Lakeisha Brown offered to do her hair, and over time they became friends. That's why she says she felt comfortable trusting Brown to watch her two young daughters Saturday night. Now, hours later, we learned Brown and her children disappeared. Atlanta police investigators, they've been working this case through the morning. The girl's mother tells me Brown was only supposed to watch the children for a couple of hours Saturday night, then meet back here, but she never brought them back. The mother says her last contact with Brown came around 1:30 Sunday morning. Now, right now, investigators searching for Brown and those two girls. Police say they may be traveling in a white 2009 Ford F-350 with an Alabama license plate. She says Brown claimed she and the children had been involved in a car accident. That's when they were texting, but the mother tells me she quickly realized that story was not true.
You can't trust nobody. People put on faces and it ain't even real. I just want my kids back. They just already dead. I thought it was just gonna be a day out, and I trusted her, and she broke that trust.
Yeah, just awful stuff there. And Fred, we did learn this morning that this mother, we believe, has a case out of Alabama with similar circumstances. I've actually reached out to law enforcement in Alabama. I'm trying to get it confirmed, but we believe there is a similar case. The mother said that investigators for APD confirmed that as well. But again, we're working to get those details together, but urgent search is underway. If you see those kids, if you see the suspect, if you see that vehicle, you are asked to call 911. For now, we're live in Northwest Atlanta. Michael Seiden, Channel 2 Action News.
When you see that mom tell her story, Mike, your heart just sinks. We're going to stay on top of the story. Thank you very much. And again, here is a look at the two kidnapped children, Zola Cooper on the left, right there of your screen, and Nora Cooper on the right. And this is the license plate that you need to be looking out for, IC087Y4. Once again, IC087Y4. It's a white Ford F-350. Call police or Crime Stoppers right away if you can help find the children, and we'll stay on the search for the children and bring you any new developments coming up on Channel 2 Action News at 4 o'clock today.
Okay, so that was the first video, and we can tell from what they were saying that this babysitter is calculating. She took the time to join a group to build trust with the victims. I want to say the victim's mother, but the mother was also a victim. So to build trust with the mother and probably others in that group as well. Um, but she took the time to build trust with no other reason other than that she wanted to kidnap these kids. And then we see that she has a similar case, almost exactly the same, in Alabama, where she kidnapped another child under similar circumstances. So that is the twist that made me want to go ahead and cover the story, because there's going to be some follow up on that, finding out what happens both in this case and in the Alabama case, um, seeing if there's any more, if there are any more cases that are going to pop up, any more victims that are going to come through. Um, so anyway, let's move on to the next video that I wanted to watch with you.
In the meantime, I do want to let you know that we're getting new body camera video of the moments when Atlanta police were able to rescue two kidnapped little girls, two sisters here in Atlanta. And this comes as the suspect in this case has waived her first court appearance. Our Ray Urena joins us live with the latest on this story. Ray, what are you learning?
Well, Ariel, like you mentioned, that suspect, Lakeisha Brown, she was supposed to be in court earlier this morning, just a few miles away at the Fulton County Jail at 11 a.m. for her initial hearing, but she decided to waive that hearing, so she was not in court today. Just a little bit about her charges. She's charged with 2 counts of kidnapping and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the first degree. And as you mentioned, Atlanta police just put out new body camera video that shows the moments that officers rescued these 2 girls, ages 4 and 11 months old, respectively.
Okay, now just while this is happening, you see they're having to beat a lock on the outside. I'm wondering how she was able to lock a lock on the outside when she and the kids were on the inside. So that makes me think that there has to be someone else involved somewhere, because somebody had to lock this trailer from the outside. She couldn't do it.
From a tow trailer in Southwest Atlanta. We're playing that video now. From the beginning, you can see that investigators are using what looks like to be a cinder block to try and break the lock on this tow trailer before another officer comes in with bolt cutters, and then they eventually open the door to that tow trailer, where they find the suspect, Lakeisha Brown, and 4-year-old Zola Cooper and 11-month-old Nora Cooper inside. We just got a copy of the arrest warrants from Lakeisha Brown from authorities, and they say inside that trailer there was no air conditioning, and they say yesterday the temperatures peaked at about 97 degrees. So that trailer had no air conditioning, but it did have an open ventilation window at the top of that trailer. So some new information about that trailer. And as it appears, it looks like one of those storage trailers that you kind of pull behind your vehicle whenever you're moving from place to place. So that's the nature of what investigators found. Also, we are learning more about her jail records and her past history to that 2021 case in Alabama that she's also accused of being a suspect in, where she allegedly kidnapped a 4-day-old baby. And jail records show that right now she has active warrants out of Paulding County and Jefferson County, Alabama. And according to Alabama court records, Brown apparently did not show for a scheduled start of a jury trial back on May of this year. And that was connected, of course, to that 4-day-old baby case in 2021. And yesterday afternoon, prosecutors in Alabama filed a motion to revoke her bond, stating that she violated the conditions as a result of her new charges and by failing to appear in court. Police told us yesterday that she did have a warrant out for that specific offense. And the mom in this case, Alicia Redding, she has said that this woman, Lakeisha Brown, she gained her trust over years and years. And this was over the course of a year, I should say. She says that this was the first time that she allowed her to babysit her children. We talked to her yesterday. Here's what she had to say.
The first time I let her take them with her, she just used to be around, and I was always around and she was around. That's why it's crazy, because she didn't show nothing. She didn't show nothing like, oh, I can't let them be around my kids. It was like a regular auntie, like their auntie right here.
And so here we're in Northwest Atlanta, where this investigation began. We talked to the family. We've been talking to the aunt. She says that the family may want to speak about the new body camera and about the new information that's coming out later on today. So we're standing by just in case we do hear from the family later on today. But overall, Ariel, there's a lot of new information that's coming out today, just a day after officers were able to find those two children safe and sound. We have been told by the arrest warrants that those children were taken to Children's just to be evaluated as well.
Ray, thank you so much for the update. It was incredible to be able to see that body camera footage. One of the things that struck me is just, I know when investigators held their news conference yesterday, they talked about this trailer, and I assumed that it was a trailer like, like a single wide, right? Or something like that, that someone would actually be living in. Not a tow trailer for a truck. I mean, this is not a living space.
No, and investigators said as much in their arrest warrant. They described the conditions in there as uninhabitable and not suitable for human occupation. That's what the investigators said themselves in the probable cause portion of the arrest warrants, which we just got in the past hour. So I'm sure that when people hear a trailer, they're thinking, oh, this is maybe a fifth wheel from a recreational vehicle, or like you said, a single wide trailer that's in the apartment complex. But it turns out to be some sort of storage tow trailer instead, that thankfully investigators were able to get to these kids.
I still want to know who locked that lock on the outside.
Before anything happened. As they said yesterday, these kids are in good health and are expected to be okay, Ariel.
Ray, just incredible, especially considering, like you mentioned, the temperatures. It has been so incredibly hot, and the fact that they spent extended time in there. So glad that they are both okay. Ray, thanks for joining us. We'll let you get back to gathering some information, and we'll see you again later this evening.
Developing now, police say two young children kidnapped.
Okay, I don't think we're going to play the rest of the videos, but I will put all the video links in the description so you can go and check those out for yourself. It's really getting under my skin, because that was the first time I watched that video of them, watched it fully, of them breaking into that trailer, and I can't get over the fact that the lock was locked on the outside while she was on the inside with the children. So who locked that lock? It wasn't her. I don't know now. I didn't get a good look at that ventilation window on the top. Maybe it's big enough that she could have crawled in and out of there, locked the lock herself, and crawled in through the ventilation window, but I can't imagine that being big enough for her to crawl in through. So I still want to know who locked that lock. Where is the accomplice? And it's crazy how she built the rapport and trust with this woman over such an extended period of time, with the ultimate goal being to kidnap the children. Y'all excuse me, it's past my bedtime. I took my medicine, I took some melatonin and some NyQuil, and it started to kick in. But yeah, I'm still kind of tripping on that, and I'm not gonna be okay with that until I know how that lock got locked on the outside. But yeah, it's crazy how she built a rapport and reputation with this woman over the course of what they say a year at least, with the ultimate goal of stealing her children. She stole them the first time that she was allowed alone with them. So we know that the whole time that was her goal. That's what she was trying to get at. I'm going to do a little digging and see what I can find out about that Alabama case so we can talk about that, where she stole the 4-day-old baby. I want to know if she used a similar like mom's group to find a victim. How did she get in touch with that woman? How long did she know that woman? Was she allowed to babysit that baby and she stole the baby when she was babysitting? Or was it something else? What were the circumstances surrounding that baby's disappearance? So I'm going to do some digging and I will bring it to y'all as soon as I got it. Um, I won't be doing live until I can figure out how to make it go live on the right channel. But until the end, I'll just be doing recorded videos. Uh, anyway, thank you for joining. Love you. Hit the like, share, subscribe. Hype it up if there's a hype button so this video can get into the algorithm and this channel can be shown to a wider audience. I don't pay for, because you can pay to have your channel featured and pushed out in the algorithm. I'm not going to pay for it. I'm going to let it do it organically. And so if you want to help me with that, help this channel grow, help this channel get seen, then please like, share, subscribe, and definitely leave a comment.